Hey AfterBuzzers, we're here doing another Pretty Little Liars after show for you. Of course, this is the Season 7 premiere. Tonight, we are talking about Charlotte's murder suspects, the relationship status of everybody in Rosewood, and our predictions for Season 7.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Can you keep it sweet?
This one you say, you're gonna lock it in your pocket, taking this one to the grave. And I'll show you that I know you don't tell what I said. Cause two can keep a secret and one of them is dead.
I kind of nailed that actually on timing this time.
The only time in your whole entire career.
I know, but I actually forgot that we did it at the beginning. I was like,
I did too. Heather
I was like the only one, and our lyrics were horrendous, by the way.
I know.
So we apologize.
We promise we will get better.
It's been a few months.
We'll practice.
We're a
saying
little
that though
rusty.
for
I know.
like seasons now.
We're gonna practice.
Maybe we should just be bad all the time, because
Dress
that's just
rehearsal's
us.
Thursday.
All right. Well, I know you all want to hear about the show, so welcome back to our Pretty Little Liars after show. We're so excited for another season, and this is a big, thrilling. I feel like it was a big start to this season.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm Stephanie Wenger, and we have our whole panel here tonight.
I'm Kristin Strange on Twitter at Kristin_Strange.
I'm Hannah Prichard. You all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @thehotshotdude.
Hey guys, I'm Heather Joy Smith, and you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Heather Joy Smith. And I have my Twitter pulled up too, so if you guys want to tweet us, let us know. And we got Becca Brown over on the chat tonight. Hey, Becca Brown.
Yeah, and can you tell we like each other a little bit? We're super excited to be back.
We missed each other so much. I even brought wine to celebrate our
I know. We're very excited. The show is back after, so it went off the air in March, and this is the new season back in June. So it's been a minute since we've been together as a panel. But let's jump into talking about the show tonight, which kind of revolved around the murder suspects. Charlotte's murder, of course, happened in season 6. And now we have Hannah being held responsible, but it doesn't look like Hannah, we know Hannah didn't do it.
And they don't think Hannah did it.
They don't think Hannah did it. Alison seems to be the prime suspect at this point, but that seems a little too obvious for Pretty Little Liars.
Right.
There's somebody else involved, I'm guessing. Maybe Alison was involved, but there's got to be somebody else at play, because it's never in the season premiere we get all the answers.
No,
That's just not the way
never.
the show works. What did you think of everyone pointing the finger at Alison?
I didn't know everybody thought that she was the suspect.
I didn't either. That
I
was like
did I forget something?
almost
from this?
unanimous.
Yeah.
I thought nothing of it. I was just like, cool guys.
Really?
You're wrong
I
again.
really did.
You're wrong again.
Yeah, I was like, okay, here's another thing that they're just going to do for a moment, for an episode, for a few episodes, and then it will be like dismissed and we'll choose somebody else. So I thought nothing of it. I was like, cool, it's Alison right now.
Well, I know last season we talked about we wanted the show to be like a whodunit, because that would make it so
Right.
different from what the show had done before the time jump. And I feel like they started out season 7 in a lot that way. Like, I hope it continues being this like whodunit, because I think if every episode focuses on somebody
Within them. Yeah.
who could be a potential suspect, and then the end of the season is who actually
Yeah.
Done it.
Yeah, that would be a really interesting season to me.
Yeah.
Agreed. I would like it to be one of the main girls.
So do you want it to be one of the liars
or
themselves?
yes, I would like something like that.
I have a prediction, but I'll
What?
save it.
Oh.
For if it's one of the main girls, I think I know who it would be.
Okay.
Well, now, I'm sorry.
I agree with you. I completely agree with her.
I mean, I'd have to lean towards Spencer, but I might lean towards Emily only for that loyalty toward Alison. Maybe she takes the fault for it.
Yeah. It just was weird to me that they put Spencer in Hannah's dream. Like, why?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't feel like she has more of a relationship with her than any of the other girls. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, but I felt like Spencer had a really bigger, like, role tonight.
She was like, I'm in charge, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, she's always in charge.
Spencer's
but
always in charge.
It was a little bit more tonight than normal.
I feel like Spencer right now, with the current way the show is, seems like the most obvious of the 4 girls that it could be her. But then you have Emily, potentially. I think Aria has always been, from like season 1, somebody that they thought of. And that would make me personally so sad. And I just feel like right now, that's not where they're taking her storyline. It's so focused on relationships and other things that...
I feel like Spencer is the only one who would emotionally be able to handle it and not go crazy. Like, everybody else would go insane. Like, Emily and Aria do not have the mental capacity to handle killing someone.
No.
They couldn't handle it.
Oh my gosh, no, for sure not.
Like, Spencer could handle it. You could tell, has a very good way to separate her mind. She could be like, yes, I killed somebody, but now I'm doing this. But nobody else has that.
No.
Yeah, I feel like Spencer had, like, it's not a split personality, but she definitely has the capacity to, like, compartmentalize.
Compartmentalize. That's the word I was looking.
Yeah, woo!
It's a USC
Big
grad
word.
over there.
Compartmentalize, guys. All right.
That's what you got from your education.
You know.
State school.
Woo! That's the message tonight. All right. So let's talk about how they went about kind of figuring out if Alison did in fact murder Charlotte. So we had Spencer take on who we're assuming is Mary Drake, right? We don't have confirmation yet that it's Mary Drake. We know that it's the twin sister, though.
Jessica's twin,
Yes, Jessica's twin.
Pretty sure it is, though.
Yeah.
She did. I thought when Spencer asked her, she did say
Mary
yes,
Drake.
that it's Mary Drake, right?
Yeah, I just wasn't sure that we knew
If she's
that-
like lying or
Do we
not.
know
Yeah.
if that was Jessica's maiden name? Because that would be obvious. If Mary Drake was Jessica's maiden name.
I thought it
Was it? Do we know? Oh.
I think that was covered in last
Was it?
season. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the specifics, but I remember it was covered in that because we had like a little chart of how it went.
And I remember Freeform did a marathon all day today, so I'll have to go back and it's all on my DVR and double check that.
I'll tell you what though, she's rocking that brown hair. She looks good as a brunette.
She does. I'm really glad they brought her back.
Yeah.
She's like one of the characters. She's a really good actress. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
absolutely.
she's so good.
Yeah, but it was such a creepy move when she showed up at Spencer's door. That to me was like,
Especially
Can I
after
speak to your parents?
right, and especially after loading her vehicle with all those random things, like, and then you drive over to Spencer's house.
Why does she have a van?
Yeah, why do
she's
you
a
have a
creepy person.
utility van
Right.
with tarps and charcoal and weird things in it? Like, that's
Well,
just
she is
odd.
involved though, right? In like the taking of Hannah because she's
I think
involved
so.
with
Yeah.
what's his butt that the
Elliot.
husband
Oh,
Elliot,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
which I have feels.
He
You know
is
what?
gross.
It's hard not to predict throughout this entire show.
I know, it really is.
what was your prediction, or do you want to wait?
No, I'll wait.
Okay, all right.
I'll wait.
You make me wait so much for your predictions every
Listen,
week.
sometimes it's really hard, but like, and I didn't write them down this time, so like, I don't really know what's gonna happen by the time we get there.
I had to say it because I knew I would forget.
Fair enough. So we see them having this conversation. She invites her in for tea, and then at the end, which personally was one of my favorite moments of the episode, and it's a weird moment, was when she was like, "Remember to lock your door," and I was
So
like,
weird.
so weird, but also something that I've said for years on this show is that it bothers me so much that these girls are like, A is after me, and then they never lock their doors. And so it was like a nice call out to the fans, I felt like, in some ways, of like, yes, I'm telling her, lock her door. But it was creepy as well.
Even though it was, it was in a creepy way though. But
Yeah.
you know,
It's
whatever.
always like so weird to me too that it's like super at night in the dark and all their windows are like wide open. Like, let's just have everyone, look right in. Like, that is so weird to me.
I
And
do
when
not do
they
that.
visited the hotel that I'm pulling up right
The Lost Woods Resort.
the Lost Woods Resort, thank you. It's so funny talking about them always having their windows open and all of that. They on the show they reuse that same like forest.
drives me bonkers.
But what I love is check out Shay Mitchell's YouTube channel because she actually does a tour of the Pretty Little Liars set, and she calls it out that she's like, this has been 18 things on our show, and I was like, at least the actors know it too.
Yeah.
Like, so that was like fun, and it's also her YouTube channel in like the hiatus. I've been watching some of the stuff, and it's great. So it's something.
Can I give a side note really quick about
Yeah.
their set? So today I walked by it and they have a baby pink golf cart, you guys. This is Pretty Little Liars and has cheetah print on the seats. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my
all.
God, I
it was
wanna
really
write
cute.
on
I
it.
wanted to take a picture, but I didn't.
Doesn't it say like A on the back of it too?
Oh, I'll have to look.
I think it does.
I'll
Like,
look tomorrow.
I think it says
Okay.
a bad word, like
Just
Oh.
like
you know what I mean, and then like A.
snap a pic so we can all see it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be fun. It's definitely, though, her YouTube channel, I think she cooks with Ian Harding. Like, it's definitely something to check out if you're a Pretty Little Liars fan, just on a side note. But let's jump back into this show and talk about this dream that Spencer had.
Hannah had.
Hannah had
Where
about
Spencer made a
Spencer.
cameo.
Yeah, that's exactly
Spencer's wisdom.
I totally thought that they were gonna like have Hannah like come to and like Mary Drake was gonna be Spencer. I thought that
Ooh.
That would have been. I would have enjoyed that a little bit.
yeah. Where she was like, hush little baby, and then like it was Mary Drake actually singing. I thought that was gonna happen.
That would be so, like, that when she
creepy.
started singing the lullaby, that's when I was just like, ooh, this show
I don't
is...
ever want my friends to sing me a lullaby.
Yeah, I was like, that's
nothing that I
really, like,
ever-
it went from, like, comforting to something else that
Creepy.
was really, like,
Yeah.
not great. And so, you know Hannah's in such a bad mental state if that's, like, what her dreams are. You can only imagine. And we see her locked up, and they use, like, a very odd, like, I'm not sure if it was security footage or what we were really seeing. It was, like, that green...
Night vision.
Night vision.
Why was that guy wearing that whole like get up of with the goggles like?
Because we couldn't see him.
Night vision.
Oh. Like couldn't he just?
He didn't have lights in the place. He had to use night vision.
Couldn't he have just
He didn't want to
adjusted
turn
his
the lights
eyes?
on.
No, like not even just like one little bulb, not a work light, not a ghost light, nothing.
Weird. That
Yeah.
seems like a lot of excess materials when you could buy a like lamp for or like a flashlight for like $5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're very practical. The people on the show are not.
Well, then I'm gonna have to assume then that the place was above ground because he was afraid of turning on lights. Would that be because, or else if it's underground, who really cares
True,
if you
because
have
I
on
think
lights?
That might have been why he didn't want to turn on lights because he didn't want people to see them.
Yeah.
Fair.
Although there was that vent that she would have had to climb out of.
And I would like to know how she unscrewed the vent.
And I would
was
like to know
wondering the
how
same
she
thing.
fit her body through there because it was not very big.
It was real tiny.
Yeah.
Granted, she really had any clothes on. Poor Ashley Benson. I would be so mad if like somebody handed me a script and
I
was
was
like, "Hey,
like-
guess what? You're gonna film in your underwear
Who
for
was
like days."
Who was like, I feel like they took Hannah's clothes. Like, that's what would happen. I feel like they took Hannah's clothes. So you're going to be in your underwear. Who thought
Oh my
that?
God. Who's like, I'm just gonna take your pants,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna leave you with your underwear
We're going
and
to
your
give you
shirt.
a white tank top.
Exactly. Can we go back and double check what her outfit was prior to
I
being stolen?
guarantee
Because
you-
did she have a wife beater on underneath her
I
shirt?
guarantee you she did not have a wife beater on.
They gave
I
it to
have all
her.
the feels about it. I had all the feels. Down to her pretty picture that I'm sorry was like an Instagram model kind of like.
Ashley Benson can make any photo look good.
Yeah, right? I was like, girl, rough it up a little bit more.
Like, go sleep for 4 days and then let's take this
She's like,
picture.
Aria's like, she looks so scared. And I was like, she does not look that scared. She looks like she's posing.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those crazy things. And I saw on Twitter during the East Coast broadcast, people were like, why is she running in the woods, like in her underwear? Like, what's going on? And then I didn't know what the scenario was until I watched the West Coast broadcast. And now it all made sense, but does it make sense? I don't know.
I still was thinking while she's running, I'm like, gosh, she's running without shoes on. Ow, that would really hurt.
But I mean, at that point, I feel like you're just like,
You're
let's
just
go.
going, you're jetting it.
And what's the chance that Mary Drake is the one who drives up? I would have started running the other way.
Yeah, and then it looks like she puts her in the car. So
Yeah.
I don't really understand Mary Drake's like game right now because she's like trying to help get her hostage, I'm assuming, or I have no idea. Unless it's a separate person who's holding Hannah hostage versus what Mary Drake and Elliot are doing to Alison.
Are we under the assessment, or not the assessment, are we under the assumption that that Uber A is who's holding Hannah? Is that the idea?
I don't know
point?
at this point.
Are we still calling him Uber A? Because I thought it was a devil.
That's what the description said when I read about the episode, Uber A. So I'm
I mean,
sticking to Uber A.
I would assume yes, it is. But tonight it just seemed different. I don't know.
Well, they said that A had never acted this way before. They were smarter than ever, and so it does make me wonder.
Yeah, if it's Elliot, he's a doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
That's super creepy, by the way, about him.
But
Yeah, and all those injections, that's gross. Anyways,
Well-
yeah, can we talk about that in a second?
I was just gonna finish this thought, and then we're getting right into the hospital, so you're right on track. But the thought with Uber A, though, is did they have new recruits to this, like, A team? I just don't know, because how do you get smart?
Get recruits? Like, did they post a Craigslist ad or something?
I mean, Rosewood might have, like, a...
Rosewood Craigslist.
I'm bored.
Is anyone saying anything about the chat and who Uber A might be?
Well, there's one comment I thought was interesting. Someone said Noel Khan as Uber, which he's supposed to come back.
He supposed to come back?
Yeah, he's supposed to be back.
I hope he comes back
season.
just because I want to see his face and his body on my television.
Yes. And I mean, a lot of Mary and Elliot as of now.
Okay.
But when you all were talking about, like, who killed Charlotte, a lot of people were saying between the girls, maybe Aria, possibly.
They all say Aria.
More people than Spencer. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No, that's interesting, and keep tweeting at us and let us know what your thoughts are, because obviously there's a whole season to come on this, so we have lots of directions the show can go, and it's always a surprise. So let's talk about Emily's visit to the hospital to see Alison, and Alison has had a dramatic psychotic break here. Like, unimaginable.
It seems like it's been induced, though, because he's giving her these injections. Like, what's in those injections? Obviously, like, mental.
Crazy.
Make you crazy. I don't know what that's
almost
called.
like
I'm not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know either. But it's almost like he's giving her two different injections: one to make her go crazy, and then one to bring her down.
Yeah.
I think that would be enough to make her go crazy.
That's true.
And that was so weird when he was like, I'm going to make sure you live a long life in this hospital.
Okay,
and then he
so I do have to, like, give
so
one.
creepy.
I do have to give one prediction then, because if we're going to talk about him and him changing the accent. So, like, he's affiliated with Ren in some capacity.
Totally. He has to be.
Do we know if he's Australian or British? Because I'm really bad
British, because he had the British news on.
I did notice that. I was like, how did they not notice? Oh, I'm going to put the British news on.
So do you think him and Ren are, like, brothers? Do you think they went to school together, like, studied medicine together?
I mean, I feel like it's a big jump for us to be like, you're British, you must be related to the only other British
But, like,
person.
But they kind of are similar.
They have to.
They
Why else
have
would they
to know
do
each
it?
other.
And if they're doctors, maybe they, like, went to school together.
Yeah.
But then Mary Drake said "C'est la vie" when she was leaving Spencer's house.
French. So who knows? Now we're all confused.
Right.
Well, it was also interesting that Aria at the bar was saying, like, did you see a British guy here? And, like, you would assume that was her, I don't know, not ex-boyfriend, but the guy she was seeing, right? He was British. Am I correct about that?
Oh, Liam?
No.
Australian.
Oh, Australian.
Wait,
Right?
Liam's American.
Wait.
Jordan was the one that was
That's
Sorry, my sister's in the room, and I know she said something to me on the way here. Who was Australian that you asked me about? Hannah's?
Hannah's.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I love him.
So Jordan's Australian.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
why
been
then,
here.
to go back to the initial point, why was she asking about a British guy? Was she asking about...
She was asking about, well, she said he might be British or an Aussie, because I like how they don't know the accent difference she is either.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. I just was like, oh, maybe some connection there, but apparently not.
But then we can also say with the Eiffel Towers and the, like, French reference to Emily and, like, the C'est la vie, it's all coming full circle.
But I mean, I think Rosewood, you can assume it's such a, like, small thing that if they're trying to connect British together, then that's probably something to pay attention to.
Exactly. Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I was going to say those two countries are closer together than Australia.
Yeah.
My sister doesn't want to talk, but she's saying Melissa.
I think Melissa's involved.
Oh, for sure. She is so shady.
Because Mary Drake talked about how you look just like your sister.
Yes.
And then that would also be a connection to Ren and
Look at you, Jay.
Elliot.
This is what I told you. You had to have a mic on.
I also thought that the creepy Spencer in the dream was Mary Drake in a Spencer mask.
If you can just put it closer to your mouth.
Sorry.
No, that's good.
Yes.
I love your commentary, but we were just wanting to make sure we can hear you.
This is real good.
No, agreed.
So let's move on and talk a little bit about Emily's reaction in the hospital. Pretty intense for her. I think, seeing Alison in this state, it's never going to be fun to see a friend in this state, but she has, I feel like, a kind of a can't handle it reaction.
It's hard for her.
I feel like I would automatically be like concerned about her new husband. I would be like, why'd you put her in here? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Why is no one questioning him?
Because they play dumb with everything.
I know,
Those girls play
that's
dumb
like,
with everything.
I feel like I question my friends' husbands anyways, and they don't like put them. Like I'm always.
We do. I feel like though now that Aria and Ezra kind of were spying, I guess, that it will come up, I feel like, in the next couple episodes.
Yeah.
It has to. If it doesn't, I will be shocked.
If they're not like, that was weird that he had a locked
Right.
like thing at the end of his bed and then just walked out. They're crazy.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that
what was he putting in? He had like black jackets and stuff. Like,
And I think Ezra's a little sharper than that. So.
I think so.
Yeah.
let's hope.
Ezra seems to be taking on like a almost team leader in this in a lot of ways. He's like, let's figure out what's happening here. We tried all, and I think they even said like that we've been trying for so long. How are we going to do this in 24 hours? And they're not going to. I mean, it's going to take longer than that. But I think that they're really trying to push it forward now. And what I really enjoyed about this episode as a whole is that I felt like we got through some story. Sometimes on this show, there's a distraction to what's really happening, and this felt like a great introduction into a season.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Felt like they actually did things in this episode.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you're like moving the story forward into let's talk about, actually, that's a good transition into Ezra and
Just gonna say that.
Ezra and Aria.
Hold on.
Oh.
All right,
My
team.
favorite part of the whole episode was when she opened she went to the door, she opened the door and she was like, I don't need to know what we are. I just need to be with you. And then they hugged and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, this was an interesting one because this episode was decidedly not about relationships except for this relationship.
But it's always about them.
Yeah,
And
no
we're
matter
okay with that.
In my head, at least.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely kind of, you saw her questioning everything, which I think at her age, she's, what you can say, 26-ish, right?
I think they're
so.
like 22-ish.
Oh, because it was 5 years, so you're right, like 22,
Yeah.
23.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. So
Going off their real ages.
she seems to be really questioning like who she should be with and what Ezra, like they had this hookup at the end of last season, what that means. Are they friends with benefits? Where are they? And then she kind of leaves and's like, I need to think about things. And then, yes, when she goes back, that's when you know it's like, it's back to what it was in seasons 1 through 4.
And she declines a call from Liam.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, was that the song that was playing when they first met in the bar?
No, it was a different song.
But then when was that Frey song playing? Why was that like
I don't
their
know.
song?
I don't remember that either.
I think that maybe that's just like his music taste, and she thought that it would be.
That's what I
but
kind
it
of
wasn't
figured
it like.
too.
What was the song? It wasn't like B12.
It was it was either B12 or B22. I think it was
Yeah,
B22.
something like that. I listen to country music only, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
But
I have no idea. I was really confused. People, what is that song from?
It was B22, right? Because they did a poem.
B20 something.
Yeah, they wrote a poem.
Double checking.
About. Like, remember when he wrote the poem and she found it and she was like, oh, this is all about us, and I believe it was B22.
something.
B26.
Oh,
26.
Guys, we
Apparently, it's like a sexy song. Because remember when she was like, "Did you put on that song just so you could talk to me?"
I don't remember.
I don't know.
So what's the Frey one then from? Somebody tell me that.
I think that was.
It was the song was called Happiness. Maybe she just wants to be happy.
Yeah, but it like she wasn't
tell
even
us.
looking. It specifically reminded her of Ezra as that 16-year-old boy holding the beer walked by and drinking. I am sorry, but what was that? We could come on, y'all. We could have cast somebody who was clearly 21. Like I was 16.
I also have to say
Definitely an 18 to like younger extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, with this whole thing though, I don't know. We were watching it with closed captioning, which I think is important to note when we're talking about a song. We definitely we knew
it.
We knew what the song was. We had it all like written out for us, and I don't know if you're watching the show if the song is so blatantly clear because I don't,
because I don't watch TV with closed captioning.
in general, no. So yeah, because I wouldn't have recognized this song off the top of my head.
And if you're a Frey fan, I guess you would have.
But I liked the song.
I totally liked the song.
Yeah, it was great. And then I think we're missing one of the characters that we haven't talked about yet. Spencer, Emily, Aria, Hannah. Alison, we talked about. Okay, so maybe we're not. Is there the red coat at the end of the episode?
Oh, I know who we haven't really talked about.
Sweater,
Caleb and Mona.
That was so random.
So Caleb, I feel like if I was Spencer, despite the fact that Hannah's like missing and might be dying, I feel like I would be a little bit jealous because
she is.
Yeah, Caleb's like so like I'm gonna get her back no matter what. Like I'm gonna fight for this, and she's like, okay, and she doesn't know that they just kissed.
Right. I think she's obviously jealous because they had their relationship, but at the same time, like
she's on the same track.
She's on the same track. They're both trying to look. They're both on the same team right now. Figure it out, and then you can figure out your little relationship later.
Yeah.
You know,
or your lack thereof.
Or lack thereof, because Hannah will always have Caleb.
But I want her to be with Jordan.
I'm never really going to trust Caleb.
I think Jordan's gone. Jordan hasn't even cared that she's missing.
Maybe he doesn't know.
Well, that's
They're
fine.
probably trying to not involve him.
Maybe he kidnapped her.
Oh, twist.
Well,
it's like a Lifetime movie right there.
They've been
Kidnapped by my fiance.
I'm pretty sure they have that on Lifetime.
They've been saying that this is the most romantic season yet of Pretty Little Liars. It's also a season of homecomings.
I love that you said that right after I said her fiance kidnapped her.
Stockholm syndrome.
Well, you know.
I hope someone has a baby
It's
so
super
bad.
romantic, Stephanie.
It really is. But what I wanted to ask was that, do you think that this season, I feel like what was interesting was after promoting it as that, and I definitely heard multiple like interviews talk about that, this was not a particularly romantic episode.
No.
No.
But I feel like it kind of set the grounds to be one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely with the last scene with Ezra and that whole thing, I think that set a good tone for how this is gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, I just hope we get more Aria and Ezra. That's
For sure.
Really always my goal.
Then we
in
can
this
bust
show.
out our team art Ezra shirts
I
again.
know. That'll
I did not get one of those, and I'm kind of upset about it.
Well,
I can get you one made.
It's fine.
we'll work on it.
It's okay. I'll make one. It'll look better.
Get like Team Ezra and then like #ABTVPLL, which is how you can tweet us.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. That was
Good
cute.
one.
That was cute.
Amazing. Nice social tie-in. We're doing well tonight. So let's, before we go into news and gossip, talk about what do you think about all these characters returning? So we mentioned earlier that she's blind. Sorry. Jenna.
She's blind. Not anymore, right?
That was a low. I was like, I just totally blanked, and you guys were like, "What are you talking about?" Jenna. Thank you.
She's blind. What do you call that game where you give all the clues out loud?
But Jenna will be back this season. Noel will be back. Where do you think that this takes us? Are they going to be suspects? Where are we going with this?
I feel like Noel probably is going to become a suspect. I mean, why else would you bring him back? Jenna's just a creeper.
Yeah.
I mean,
She's good for creeping and, slithering
Adding
around.
some mystery.
Yeah, she's a little snake.
I think it'd just be really
Maybe
nice if they brought everybody back by the end.
Everyone.
Like everybody.
yeah,
Every
single person.
Yeah.
Pretty Little Liars did a Facebook Live today, and Lindsay, whatever her last name is, that plays Paige, was on it. So she's back.
she is back as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so it is a lot of these people that I know we've talked about on our show being loose ends coming back and having more of a story. And I think that that's a really exciting place to be in season 7, that you're not going to have something from season 4 that never got tied up. Hopefully, by bringing these characters back, we're getting
Is it going to be like a what was it, Friday the 13th or April Fool's Day, whatever movie where everybody's alive at the end? Like at the very, very end, everybody will be alive and it'll just have been one big charade on these girls.
It's the puppet thing
Like
that we
karma
kept
from
talking
birth.
about.
I would love that.
It'll be like Now You See Me, and all the things will come together.
They'll all come together.
There you
Everyone's
go.
still
Oh
alive.
God, that would be so worth it. Do it.
Do we know if this is the last season?
We have some news and gossip about that.
Oh, let's get into that then.
AfterBuzz.
That was an amazing.
I didn't even know.
All right. Well,
It's a literal
we
question.
do have some news and gossip. So last week there was a big event for Pretty Little Liars at a cemetery here in LA, which sounds super creepy, but it's awesome. They do.
Everyone goes.
Yeah, it's like a fun screening. They do screenings
I've
there.
never been.
Really?
Oh, is that
Yeah,
weird?
it's really fun. You should go. It's fun
I
to
went
do.
there for Halloween. It was so much fun.
You
Yeah,
can bring all your own wine, Kristin.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm there.
And they do tours.
Yeah, it's a great time. But so this last week they had the Pretty Little Liars event there, and Entertainment Tonight was there, and they talked to Lucy Hale, and she said season 7 is the beginning of the end. It's probably the last season with the full cast, which is what made PLL what it is. It may continue in some way with new people or keeping some of the old cast. So it'll be interesting to see who stays, who goes, because I think that they probably signed a contract for 6 or 7 seasons and may have done a contract extension if it was 6, but they are definitely wrapping up this group.
So are they trying to do a spinoff then? Is that what's happening?
Like a new
I think that you could do something like a One Tree Hill, where it got new members along the way. Some
Right.
people leave. Grey's Anatomy's done it. If you have a really successful show, you can trade, have some characters leave and
Yeah, One
others
Tree
come
Hill
in.
did that really successfully. I don't know how it would work in this scenario.
I love that show.
Yeah, it's a good show. And just because it's all around these 4 girls, like a very core group, they've made them the core group. And no other show that's really done it has made a very specific core cast.
You would need someone like an Alison. I'm assuming that all the those 4 girls left. You would need someone like an Alison to stick around and
Yeah.
have the story be based on her or one of the other 4. I'm not saying that, but just you'd have to have at least one, I feel like, from that core group in order to continue on. I don't think you could just be like, oh, they all like graduated and decided to leave Rosewood and
Here's some 4 new girls.
yeah, here's some 4 new girls. They look remarkably similar to the old ones. Like that would not.
Like Ace torturing the future freshmen.
yeah,
Right.
it wouldn't go over so
No.
great. I
Like
feel
Mean
like.
Girls too.
Yeah. It doesn't work.
And I mentioned already Shay Mitchell's YouTube channel, but also another fun video to check out on the web, and I'll definitely tweet this out after our show, is Glamour did a quiz with Shay and Ashley, where they essentially have memorable quotes from the show, and can they remember what happened
that's
from the
great.
show with this quote, or can they remember the quote? It's just a super fun quiz to check out. So I think Jessica Radloff over at Glamour did it, so I'll definitely tweet that out for everyone. And I think we should jump into predictions.
And now,
I know. I'm like, oh wait, what was my prediction?
predictions.
I said the Ren thing. Oh, I remember.
You go first. I can't remember.
Anyone want to jump in?
Hannah's.
I remember one of them.
Okay.
That Mary Drake, she had said when Spencer answered the door about knowing Spencer's parents, that they used to have a lot in common or share a lot of things or whatnot. So I think that Mary Drake may actually be one of the parents, and not
Jessica?
and not Jessica De Laurentiis. So, I think, because there are three children, so I think one is Spencer's dad, right, and whatever, which is Jason.
Jason was Spencer's dad and
Right.
and
So I think
Jessica.
Charlotte's maybe Mary and Spencer's father, and then the one. So I think there was a lot of swapping of relationships and spouses, because she had even mentioned that her sister came out second and was jealous of everything. So I think there's some nastiness that was
The
going
adults
on.
need to stop sleeping with
But
each other.
I think there were some cross love triangles that they presented.
All right, I need to break this down because I need to understand it. So, Mary and Mr. Hastings.
Yes.
Mr. Hastings and Jessica. So he did the twin thing.
Yeah.
And then I guess he's older, so he did the twin thing with Mary first, and then they did the twin thing with Jessica, and then the rest of them are just their normal kids. Okay, got it.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's plausible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. It is. I actually kind of agree with you.
Great. Well, what if Mr. Hastings though didn't even know that they were two different people? What if he just thought
Probably not.
Yeah, he just thought he was sleeping with Jessica,
the same person.
and then he didn't even know that this kid existed because he couldn't see her be pregnant because she was gone at that point.
My predictions are just not full without you.
It's good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
I was gonna say, I was like, I had predictions, but now I'm gonna piggyback on yours.
We can't top that. No.
Okay, so if we're gonna piggyback off that, I'm gonna go with the whole Melissa thing is obviously involved then with this somehow.
She knows the secrets.
She knows the secrets because she was the first one.
Back when I first started doing this after show, we talked about that Radley and the doctors were the key to all of this, and what it's seeming like is more and more that it goes back to that Radley and
all roads lead to Radley.
All roads lead to Radley,
really
and in season 7, I think I started on the show in season 3 or 4, and it's seeming more and more like that. So it's not a prediction, but that's kind of what it's looking like, and I'm really excited about this season. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll see where it goes, and let's see. So thank you so much for watching and hanging out with us. Is there one more thing to say?
Olivia had a prediction that Mary Drake had a baby in Radley, and in season 6, Spencer thinks she remembers being in Radley at a young age.
Well, thank you so much for that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Fabulous.
And there could be a baby we don't even know about. Maybe that's who AD is.
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually figured AD was, never mind, nobody needs to know, but stood for after death, I think it is because,
Doesn't it?
There's a million ways.
I don't think it's somebody's initials. That's what
No, I think it's after death too.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a million.
So biblical of you.
It is. It very much is, but I think.
Yeah. Hannah was just reading the Bible one day. She just
it all came to me.
Yes, so these are amazing predictions. As you can tell, we're really excited about them at the table. But keep tweeting us your predictions all week, and we'll be sure to share them if we get them in any of our social channels. You can find AfterBuzz at AfterBuzz TV, and you can find me at Stephanie Wenger.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kristin_Strange.
Y'all can find me on Instagram and Twitter at TheHotShotDude.
You can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Heather Joy Smith.
Use the hashtag ABTVPLL. ABTVPLL. See you all next week.
Woo!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.